Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our very exciting day of Death by Gaming tournament action. We are back here bringing you the third game in our triple header between Team NKG, aka North Korean Gaming, and Fan of All Foods. We are into our pick and ban phase here. NKG going to be on our blue side, and Fan of All Foods going to be on the purple side for this game. Of course, joining me, as always, are practically attached to the hip today, Colonel 555, my partner in crime. How are we, Colonel?
It's been a while since I've casted with you, Matt. Approximately.
Really? Yeah, it's been like a whole 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's been far too long for my tastes.
At least I got to eat between games. So, we're coming in here, picks and bans coming out, but let's go through our rosters here. Coming in for North Korean Gaming, we are going to have Diddly Hole, Kalbi, who I will doubtlessly mispronounce egregiously throughout this game. Right Hand Workout, Oh Jonathan, and Exceptional, versus Fan of All Foods, Super Duper, Buckshots, Your Gem, Meta World Prob, and Astrum Cutie. Of course, our initial bans here. NKG has banned Draven and Annie. I'm sure you're very sad about that one, Colonel.
Draven not picked a single time today. It's kind of disappointing, but I think I'll make it through. Because we saw the Annie mid. I think I can make it through.
We did, okay. Yeah, they also banned Elise just now. So we've got Draven, Annie, and Elise. And then it looks like Fan of All Foods has banned Riven and Renekton. Will they go for a third R champion? Could it be?
Let's see. Who could they ban then? They could ban Rumble.
Oh, it will be Kassadin. Apparently they were watching the last game and decided that Kassadin needs to be out of this matchup.
That was 2 games ago, actually. But
was it 2 games ago?
It
My
was
goodness.
2
it was
games
2 games
ago.
It's been a long day. Well, we're at least getting something similar to last game. Diddly Hole immediately locking in Vi. Looks like that will be their jungler coming into this matchup.
Vi picked all 3 games, I think.
I believe indeed it was. It was indeed picked all 3
pretty
games.
good jungler, if I do say so myself.
Certainly. Now, going over to Fan of All Foods, Buckshots hovering over Orianna. Super Duper taking his time with his pick. And he will be hovering over Thresh now. Buckshot's now hovering over Jinx. And that will be Thresh and Jinx locked in for Fan of All Foods.
Yeah, Thresh Jinx lane. Really good. You could put any combination of a really good AD carry and a really good support, and it's still a really good lane. And both those champions are very, very strong. So they picked them because they were strong. I mean, everyone knows this. Jinx and Thresh are annoying.
They both lift. They certainly both lift.
I don't. Jinx lifts.
Oh, she's a little skinny. Maybe she runs. Maybe she runs instead.
Yeah, get excited. That passive. He does seem to do a lot of running.
Alright, well, coming back over to NKG, Karbi has now locked in Leona, and Right Hand Workout has his right-hand man, Lucian, even though he has Smite, so he's probably switching with Diddly Hole, but that's going to be Leona Lucian versus Thresh Jinx in this bot lane, a battle of the OP bot duos right now.
Yeah, this could go either way. It all depends on how well the bot lanes play. Thresh theoretically could have an edge. He can actually flay Leona mid-E. So if he can stop Leona from getting to Jinx with that flay, he may have a chance of outplaying Leona, but it looks like to be a very even lane so far.
Alright, well, we are coming back down into the order here, but picks are back over to Fan of All Foods. And Meta World Prob going to lock in Orianna, and Your Gem going to go to Jax, and then quickly hop over to Vladimir. Giving us a little bit of a pump fake here, so we got some picks we haven't seen today so far.
Yeah. Top laners have been so far. Wukong got picked both games, lost both games, and then we had Rengar and... what was the other one in the first game? Cannot remember for the life of me who it was. Renekton. It was Renekton.
It was Renekton. Yeah, that's what it was.
But Renekton is banned this game, so new top laners, yay.
Hooray for new top laners. Exceptional going to hop over onto this Nasus, it looks like, although he still has 20 seconds to troll me. He might hop around. We'll see. In a farm lane, that does essentially become a farm lane, right? And then who ends up winning that, though?
It all depends on the champion that Nasus picked against. If it needs to be someone that can put some early game aggression on him, because if you can't kill Nasus or like be very aggressive pre-6, he's just gonna sit there and farm, and then before you know it, there's a giant dog running at you with a 600 stack Q. So
well, it would be Nasus against
Riven,
Vladimir, I believe, in this top lane matchup.
That would be then. I mean, it would be. Probably, I'd give that to Nasus, because Nasus only needs to get to level 6 to ramp up, whereas Vlad needs level 9. So, in that 3-level little gap there, Nasus can just take over that lane.
Alright, well, Jonathan and Exceptional locking in Gragas and Nasus. We got a lot of 5-letter names coming in here. And then Astrum Cutie is hovering over Jarvan the 4th. Now, that's some throwback.
Yeah, Jarvan, since his EQ nerfs, the hitbox on the EQ got nerfed pretty recently. So he has fallen out of favor a little bit. There's champions that have, like targeted knockups, like let's say Vi, who was picked by NKG. So Jarvan not so popular, but if you know how to play him, he's still really good in the right hands. It just sort of raised the skill floor on Jarvan, that nerf.
And it appears we have a dodge here.
A dodge?
That
maybe a mispick?
Well, this is an awkward moment, and it appears they're going to have to remake the room. Possibly. Yeah, it looks like they're going to remake the room, so we're going to have to hop out really quick because they're going to remake the room and we'll rejoin and get you guys this game, hopefully, really quickly here. So, I guess we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so we had a bit of a trip up there. Apparently, there was an incorrect lock-in that was corrected, and it has been talked through here. It was agreed upon. This was the Gragas pick was supposed to be a Syndra, and to the best of our knowledge, everything else should. These are not the same picks. So well, everything that's locked in is the same pick so far. Astrum, Cutie, and Buckshots, I hope, are trolling us, because I'd hate to have to penalize them.
What are they?
There we go. Thresh and Orianna both locked in.
Yes.
And then Calibi and Exceptional going to pick up their picks. It will be Syndra in place of Gragas. With the Nasus in there. And so we're really just trying to run back through these picks and bans really quickly. Of course, we have some hopefully pretty reasonable just reset back to what we were trying to go for before, and we can get back into game here. Everything's locked in properly this time, so things ought to proceed according to plan, at least originally. So, we'll just run down the rosters here really quick. NKG, locking in Leona, Lucian bot lane. That's a lot of L's. They've got Vi in the jungle. Syndra mid, and Exceptional going to take that Nasus to the top side of this map. Their opponent's Fan of All Foods going J4 jungle with a Vladimir likely top, Buckshots likely mid, Orianna, and then the bot lane Thresh Jinx, which will be our total matchup for this game, as we sit here running through things. Anything you want to say, Colonel, about these lineups? Is there anything that comes to mind that speaks to you in a soft voice?
Minus a few picks, namely the Vlad and the J4. This is a pretty standard game. This is the type of game that comes down straight to skill. There is no inherent advantage or any lane or anything like that. So I'm expecting good plays and a good game from both sides. Not much I can analyze about advantages over disadvantages for either team.
Alright then, well, with that sort of rundown, here we go into our spectator delay, and then we will head to loading screen. We are going to take a short break and play you guys some lovely music while we wait to get out onto the Rift. So we will come back and take a break, and we will be back with you guys soon.
Let's admire me for a bit.
I came to ask you a question. Would you rather be sliced and diced across section? Juggle session, check the arms flexing. Chick stick mass and I'm stacked to perfection. Deadly warrior, pro wrestler attitude. I'm about to make you famous, show some gratitude. And if you doubt it, check out what I did for Aframu. Turned a no name into a star just by passing through. This how I do, all out aggression.
I've got pain to serve.
I see you back for seconds. The true legend, top of my profession. Damage amped up like it's set to 11. Make an impression on every single champ I meet. Shaped like an accent, at least 8 inches deep. Farm your team like some creeps as I gain steam. Ladies throwing panties at the screen while I'm on stream. Got cash, got flash, got a killer mustache. Cut and slash, hear the blood splash. High class, master a lane harass. Turns out double lift was right, you're all trash. Team stands aside, watches you get pacified. I need a pentakill just to feel satisfied. Hope you're ready for the best catchphrase in gaming.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
Soul Reaver, make you a believer. Born to be the greatest, still an overachiever. Hitting like Mundo with a no CD cleaver. Big dog, getting cash, golden retriever. I get a blood rush, wicked blades go nuts. Move speed and AD, my skill set is robust. Stand aside, keep you in my sights like your handcuffs slowed up. Autos lane till you blow up. You can flash if you like, throw the whirling death blade spin from the fog of war. Take your last stream of steel. I'm so blessed. I'm Heisenberg dealing axes instead of math. Skills beastly, always on a kill spree. Catching every axe, never heard of a CD. Execution style, better run when you see me, or I'll be standing on your corpse.
Too easy.
Got cash out flash, gotta kill a must.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, it's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em. A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Yeah. Every challenge along the way, with courage I will face. I will battle every day to claim my rightful place. Come with me, the time is right. There's no better team. Arm in arm, we'll win the fight. It's always been our dream. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if there should be actually a diverse crowd watching this, we are back out onto the rift here, and we are prepared in mind, body, and spirit for this game, which promises... I can actually call it a ball game now, since there's Cinder and Oriana in this game. We are all prepped and ready. You love me, Colonel, don't lie. And we are all prepped and ready to get this one started. We are looking at an early invade formation in vogue right now, between all the teams involved. Coming out from North Korean gaming, they are plowing forward, looking to pick up this blue buff.
Yeah,
their
double
opposite
invade
numbers-
coming in, and
Their opposite
it
numbers looking for the red buff.
looks like, yeah, they're going to be switching just blue buff and red buff, so... I mean, unless they decide to just ward it back, but it looks like... Looks like FOF is just going to be... Oh, the hook and the miss. No one in that bush. Doesn't look like they're going to be taking the red buff. They may. Oh, but MKG is leaving the purple side jungle. This could be a collision course for a fight. Oh, look how close this is.
Alright,
And
well...
oh, Jonathan. Oh,
right hand workout walking right into Buckshots and Meta World Prob. There's the hook, it misses. And there's a lot of damage getting thrown around here. This is a bit of a chippy little exchange.
This is an early game battle if I've ever seen one. Astra and Cutie still waiting in that bush, trying to see if he can get a hook. They get the ward. They got the ward.
And
But
they are now
this-
going to start
Oh,
retreating.
Leona!
Oh, a flash!
she's
There's
going
the
in.
Zenith Blade. Damage coming down on Astrum Cutie. And Diddley Hole may pay for this, but so far it just looks like a running skirmish. Katabi laying down a lot of that Korean beef onto his opponents. Meanwhile, in top lane, our top laners have just started laning.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow start for both junglers and laners because it's 2:30 in and the junglers are just getting their buffs now. So it's going to take a little while for this game to ramp up.
Well, of course, something worth mentioning, neither Barack Obama nor NK Great Leader are involved in this game, so we'll have to see how these two teams do without their respective great leaders. As Diddley Hole getting jumped on by Astrum Cutie and Meta World Prob laying down a lot of damage, but not quite enough to pick up the kill. So those two will back off, but that was a good exchange early, and Buckshot's now taking some damage. A lot of weight being thrown around so far.
Pretty passive so far, not much going on. Normally, in most games, we'd see 6 kills out by now, but looks like both teams just want to sit and farm.
I guess we're just going to hang out and wait for someone to make a mistake here as right-hand workout going to go over, pick up his bluff, and Jonathan getting hooked. Oh, Jonathan.
Jinx, unfortunately, missing the zap, or the cork, as it may be. So, not going to pick up first blood, but they may get some more opportunities. Astrum Cutie playing very aggressive right now.
Definitely. That Thresh going to play very aggressively, and we have a gang coming in onto top lane, right-hand workout, and Exceptional trying to lay down the damage onto your gem, but Gem just going to use that blood pool and ghost his way out of there, so here we go. Astrum Cutie getting Zenith Bladed. He takes a tower shot. This could be very dangerous. Oh, Jonathan trying to lay down the damage and follow up, but not quite enough. Meta World Prob going to grab the lantern and get out of there, and both bot lanes will ward that blue side bush.
Tons of little skirmishes going around now, but still no kills. Both sides still playing very defensively, even though there's a lot of harass coming out from both sides. The Leona going in, Thresh going in. The gank from Vi was good, but the Vlad pull was so well timed. If he had gotten hit, that probably would have been it for Vlad.
Well, they're going in after Kalbi here, and Super Duper going to lay down some damage. Nothing really conclusive going to come from it. Kalbi going to just walk away from that gank.
Had they decided to dive, right-hand workout was right there. That could have gotten a little scary. Oh, and the counter gank.
There's a missed. Oh, combo, and here goes Buckshots going down to right-hand workout. The flash coming out. He just got his vault broken on that one. If a vault could metaphorically refer to a body part, I'm pretty sure it can't. But nice first blood over to North Korean Gaming here. And it looks like they're going to take the momentum early in this one.
Yeah. Regardless of what happened mid lane, top lane, Vlad seems to be pressuring this Nasus very hard. Exceptional. Not much you can do against the range strength of Vlad. He's going to decide to be. And your gem might just decide to push this tower as hard as he can.
Well, we are seeing the first round of items getting bought here. Vi actually, right hand, going to pick up a pair of longswords, but of course here we have an exchange in bot lane. Oh, Jonathan having to flash out of that one. Astrum Cutie and Meta World Prob laying down a lot of damage, some nice flays. And here goes Prob going, getting caught by the Zenith Blade and the stun. Exhaust going down onto him, but oh, Jonathan can't really follow up on this. He doesn't have the damage, but there's a couple of auto attacks. Enough barrier popped. They're still going in. Astrum Cutie so low. Meta World Prob so low. Is anyone in this lane actually over 150 HP right now? I think not.
Wow, that was perfectly played pretty much by both sides. Astrum Cutie did hook the minion at one point, but besides that, that was just very well played by both sides. No one going down, but both sides getting extremely low.
Well, Kalbi playing extremely aggressively in this middle lane here. He's putting a lot of damage down onto Buckshots. There is replying salvos coming across from Orianna, though. He's just trying to keep this, exert his presence, show what North Korean gamers can do.
I think if they lose this, they're great NKG leader will have some choice words with them. So they better hope they win this one.
Or he'll send them to the North Korean equivalent of Siberia as Unleashed Power comes down onto Buckshots, and that's the end of the Robot Girl.
Yeah, Oriana wasn't
Unfortunate way to
6. Kaibi hit 6 and decided he wanted that Oriana dead, and Buckshots had nothing to say to that.
It's a tough way to go. Syndra's such a bully in lane.
Yeah, Syndra's very, very powerful in lane, but Oriana is as well. Syndra just had the level advantage. Had Oriana been 6, she probably would have been able to trade back with Syndra, but she could not. Syndra pushed too much, and we got to fight bot lane.
Yep, here we go. Zenith Blade in onto Astrum QD. Jonathan trying to put the damage out onto him. They are going to shift the aggro over to Meta World Prob, trying to kill him, but again, a lot of inconclusive skirmishing in this bot lane. Both players on both sides going to survive, as we are seeing blue buff given over 2 Buckshots here. Trying to help him hold up against Kalbi here in this mid lane.
Okay.
But now we've got some ganks, a lantern into an assault and battery. Meta World Prob really low here. Super Duper doesn't have the mana to really do much. He's level 6, but does he have enough for Cataclysm? NKG on the run. They're going to Zenith Blade back in, and there's the flay coming out from Astrum Cutie, but Kalbi's here now, and he's not quite going to be able to do enough, although Jonathan does pick up the kill onto Meta World Prob. So the advantage now swinging over to NKG.
A nice roam by Syndra, coming down and recognizing that Jarvan is going to be down there, turning that 3v3 into a 4v3 and picking up that kill. The NKG coming out to a nice early lead, about 1.5k gold.
Well, they're up 3-0 in kills, so Fan of all foods going to have to find a way to fight their way back into this game here. It might have to start in top lane.
Top lane is probably the only place where the lane is inherently winning. Vlad up 10 CS so far. With a Jarvan gank, they could probably take out that Nasus, and they really need to start somewhere if they want to get back into this game.
Well, there's a Siphoning Strike down, and they're just throwing attacks back and forth at each other. They're both champions with very high sustain.
Yeah,
here
Vlad...
comes Kalbi roaming top.
Oh.
Sorry to cut you off there, but Kalbi roaming is worthy of our praise, and your gem very low here, but here is Kalbi and right hand workout. They're both trying to make plays here. Gem just wants to go back and get a kill onto Exceptional. Maybe that's his best shot, but he will get picked up by Kalbi. And now we got a fight on bot lane as well. The box coming down from Astrum Cutie. Zenith Blade onto Cutie from Diddley Hole. Diddley Hole eating the Super Mega Death Rocket, but he will survive. Meta World Prob now in deep trouble. Oh, Jonathan just sitting there trying to kite him and move forward with his auto attacks, but that's the zap, and this could get turned around. Barrier pop, there's the Zenith Blade, but an opposite barrier for Meta World Prob, but it's a 2v1, and he will go down. Oh, Jonathan picking up that kill. He's now on a spree.
That was very well played by Diddley Hole. Oh, Jonathan was losing that trade. He had no mana at all, and then Diddley Hole deciding he doesn't need health to go in, and Zenith Blade's in to stop Meta World Prob from getting those last few auto attacks on and getting the double. That was very, very well played.
That extra Doran's Blade coming out now. Oh no, that was already there. That means that's the Vampiric Scepter coming out now for Meta World Prob. As Buckshots again getting zoned by Kalbi. He's 0-2 with a bit of a CS deficit. Not really anything to write home about, but just enough of an advantage they can get expanded upon here by this Korean beef.
Oriana does really well at CS under turret because of her just auto attacks and the AoE abilities, so she's having no trouble just farming under turret. She just has to prevent herself from dying, like, right there.
She just had to flash out of that one because that would have been an unleashed power into, well, an unleashed death here. Is Exceptional going in onto your gem, and right hand workout is here. They're throwing down the wards. They will double ward the middle bush, and your gem running away. This is a burned ghost coming out from Exceptional, and they're just trying to lay down the boom, and he will farm. for stacks.
And
That Vladimir. As Kalbi picks up Super Duper here in the jungle. Things getting a little bit dicey here. Ball foods.
MKG just making this game a stomp. On bot lane, Diddley trying to go in.
But he will not. And...
or will he? Maybe. No. Does he have the solar flare? He does.
He's trolling you, Colonel. He's trolling you.
Oh,
There's
there
the
we go.
solar flare, and Meta World Prob eats it. He takes it right to the face. He's getting pounded by this Lucian, but he will lantern away. Culling coming out. It just doesn't quite have enough range. Oh, it will just kiss his backside on the way out, and Meta World Prob will escape with his life, but this is probably going to be some damage down onto this tower, at least.
There is no real saving grace here for Fan of All Foods. They've just been losing across the board, but they really need a gank like this one to come through if they have any hope of winning.
Well, the Flay coming down, as is the box, so Jonathan going to use his dash to escape. A Super Mega Death Rocket coming in from the backside. There is the hook into the Cataclysm to try and take out Diddley Hole before he can get away. And that kill will be picked up for Super Duper. A flash away from both the standard and the zap coming out for Jonathan, so he's going to stay alive in this one. And meanwhile, in the background, right-hand workout came in and picked up the kill onto Orianna in the mid lane, and he will now rotate down bottom, and Nasus has teleported in. This is going to get nasty here, and Astrum Cutie has found Kalbi, and Kalbi has kicked his butt. That is unfortunate. He tried to escape back up that river, but good awareness by Kalbi to come down and take it, and they will now take this dragon.
Yeah, and KG just dominating across the board. They played, for the most part, pretty perfectly. They're 5k gold, 14 minutes in, and this is pretty unexpected. Expect this game to be a lot closer than it is, but seems like Fan of All Foods are just lacking any sort of communication or synergy right now.
It seems almost like they've got some fires going out in two lanes, and they can't quite put them all out. Of course, top lane turret did go down. Nice job by your gem picking that one up, but this could be bad for Buckshots. Kalbi just doesn't even need his ultimate. It wasn't up for another 18 seconds, but he didn't need it. He just used the spheres.
Yeah, Syndra is very, very powerful right now. Good at zoning, a lot of damage. She's like, if I had to put it one way, a better version of Orianna.
Well, she does have 3 balls instead of 1.
This is true. Her ball potential is much higher.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
we could say she was ballin'. But I will stop that nonsense now, as we do have people returning into the bot lane. And Kali going to pick up this blue buff. Not a whole lot going on in the game here. We got a bit of a stall out, although your gem and Exceptional are going to continue to fight this one out. Exceptional putting a lot of damage, and that Siphoning Strike is very strong right now. It has 240 stacks, and your gem is feeling every one of them as right-hand workout comes in with the Cataclysm, and he will fall. Right-hand workout picks up the killing spree, and then Exceptional once again farming Vladimir for stacks as Astrum Cutie going in onto Diddley Hole, the box, and the Mega Death Rocket going to pick him up, and now Kalbi in a very poor position here. He could be in deep trouble, and the Shockwave getting laid down, Ignite there, and what a stun picking up both Orianna and Astrum Cutie. They are both in deep trouble. They will both die. Lots of kills going in on Jonathan, who is now 5-0-1.
Yeah, the carries are really getting fed. Jonathan 501, 107 CS. Kalbi with 114 CS, 6-1-4. They're going to be very, very hard to stop. But just saying that, everyone on their team is doing well. Nasus 203, 106 farm. Bai 304, 66 farm. They've just been winning everything. There doesn't seem to be much that Fan of All Foods can do.
Well, there's been approximately a kill a minute, actually, if we look at this, in favor of NKG. We're closing in on our 17th minute of the game, and there are 16 kills for them, so this has clearly been a bit of a bloodbath arena here. So one of these gladiatorial matches. That's probably not a word. I'll have to look up my pocket dictionary or play more Scrabble.
Only you would
And-
own a pocket dictionary.
I actually don't own a pocket dictionary, which means I'll have to pick one up. And so, this casting career now costing me more and more money steadily. Luckily, I have a half-price bookstore near me. Colby spamming laugh, warding up his lane and hanging out. Now he's just throwing his balls around. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. And he just lays down so much damage. Look at this. Your gem already down to 2/3 of his health just in one little UW combo. As North Korean Gaming looking to jump into the bottom side of the jungle here, but they are in a very bad position. And Jonathan just gets nuked by that Super Mega Death Rocket. And here's the turnaround, though. The Vi coming in, lots of damage coming down. Right-hand workout is doing right-hand work as Vladimir, your gem, coming in from the backside trying to Kalbi, but Kalbi is just too powerful. No, he's not quite powerful enough. Your gem will pick him up. Blay doing some serious work here. Buckshot's going to flash over that wall and try to pick up Diddly Hole. Can Diddly Hole get away? It is a red buff Oriana, but this is Diddly Hole trying to pick the kill onto Astrum Cutie. He will not. That is a kill over to Buckshots, and that was a big fight.
That
was fan of all foods.
They picked up 4 members of NKG, and that's because Nasus wasn't in that fight.
Well, he's going to be in it now, he's TPing in, and he will get hooked.
A little late for Nasus. I don't think he'll be able to catch anyone.
And he will get super dupered and boxed as well. The damage getting laid down onto him. We all know that Nasus can do a lot of work when he gets fed, but this could be big. Jonathan is back in the mix. Astrum Cutie laying damage from the backside, and here comes right-hand workout. Fan of all foods going to decide they've capitalized on their slight advantage, and they're going to back off and try to back here. But right-hand workout looking to take this blue.
That was seemed like a bit of a miscommunication from NKG. They had Nasus TP in a little too late. He wasn't really in range to catch anyone out and finish them off. And they just lost to 4v5 straight up. And now it looks like your gem's be pushing that inner top lane turret. Oh, actually no, he's deciding to go back. But yeah, they just fought 4v5 and lost.
Well, he didn't have vision of 3 members of NKG there, so probably a smart decision for him to back off there. The gold advantage now sitting at 7,300 gold in favor of NKG. They're probably going to pick up this dragon. It will be up in 2 seconds. And right-hand workout going to start hitting it with his fists.
Vi's fists are very scary. The dragon doesn't like it.
I must express some disappointment, though, at his not turning on the goggles.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't have the goggle toggle on. I always make sure to have the goggles on. It is probably the best thing about that skin.
Oh, easily. It's unparalleled in all of skindom here. Is Diddly Hole going to lay down a solar flare, but they miss. Stun from Syndra. Shockwave only landing onto Kalbi, and here comes the culling and unleashed power. That's 2 kills. 1 over to right-hand workout, the other one over to Kalbi. And Super Duper wants to go in here. He sees a low Diddly Hole, but I'm not sure they can make something out of this.
A low Diddly Hole.
Ooh, the stun again, picking up 3 people. And that tower will go down. Exceptional, putting tons of damage onto that thing. Meta World Prob, goodbye, my friend. Your gem in really deep trouble here. He's going to pull to get out. He did pop Hemoplague onto 4 members, but it wasn't enough to kill them. And Kalbi is going to die for Super Duper and pick him up.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like there's much Fans of All Food can do. I mean, they took a fight, and then they didn't really capitalize on it at all. They didn't put any vision around, and then NKG just took the next dragon, came back, won a 5v5, and now suddenly they're up 11k gold.
There are actually currently 0 wards on the map for Fan of All Food. And I see that NKG is really taxing their ward capacity here on the opposite end, and that's probably contributing in great quantity to the deficit right now.
NKG only has 1 sweeper trinket up right now, but Fans of All Food have 2, and yet, if you look at the wards, there's only 1 ward up for Fans of All Food, so 2 actually, my bad, 1 at Baron and then 1 near the mid lane, but they're really not clearing out any vision in their own jungle and putting down any vision in their jungle either. They're just sort of walking around blind and dying.
Vision, of course, such a big part of the preseason 4. Big changes coming to the Vision game, but here's a big change in the Initiate game here as the Assault Battery goes into a Solar Flare, a 3-man Shockwave, and then a 3-man Cataclysm, but there's just not enough damage to follow up. Kalbi sending in a salvo of spheres as right-hand workout jumping in, the stun in onto Buckshots. Buckshots could be in very deep trouble, but he will escape with his wretched life. So Jonathan just going to head back here. Exceptional decided he was going to tower dive your gem and farm him for stacks, but he paid with his life. And, well, I mean, Nasus does it all for the stacks. Nothing says it more than that. As Meta World Prob now getting nuked down by Jonathan. Super Mega Death Rocket coming out. It will hit Diddley Hole, leaving the base, but it won't hit anyone who's low enough for it to affect anything.
23 minutes in, MKG gets the first inhib. This is shaping up to be a very, very tough game for fans of all food. And, I mean, I really don't know what they could do at this point. They just need to put more vision around the map.
Well, as a missed death sentence, but it's hard to miss a box onto right-hand workout, and he's in a world of hurt right now, but he seems so tanky right now. Jonathan just keeps dashing along and picks up buckshots, and Meta World Prob could be in trouble here. Super Duper gonna lay it all in line for his carry, but his carry dies anyway. That kill going over to Kalbi. Oh no, it goes over to Jonathan. And then Kalbi picking up the kill onto Super Duper. Your gem pooling, using Zanya's, trying to do that annoying Vlad thing, but he will get picked up by Kalbi, who is now dominating. Who knew Korean beef was this good? Jonathan then picking up the kill onto Astrum Cutie under tower. Who'd have thought a diving AD carry?
Surrender vote coming out, and that's game.
This will be the surrender vote coming out. For Fan of All Foods, they had a rough time today, being taken on 31-8 in kills, 5-1 in towers, a 15,000 gold cap. I can count, and really just a rough outing for them. But they will have a chance at redemption here in the losers bracket. But for North Korean Gaming, they will continue their reign of terror. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In the winners bracket, they will be taking on Riot Please in the next round, as we really start to see the lineups for our semifinals and then our grand finals starting to shape up from the winner's side. We will bring you as many games as we can in this leading up to that. But look at the Syndra, 13-2-9.
Yeah, that was a very, very brutal game for fans of all food. That just they had no saving graces.
Well, big trouble in little North Korea here. But the game has concluded, and we will bring you as many of the other games as we are able to. For Comrade Kielbasa and my partner in crime, Colonel 555, this is Death by Gaming, signing off.